Hey there, Streakers. I started out this morning with medicine head. Have you ever had that before? Yesterday, my allergies were acting up a little bit. We live right now in a place where there are a lot of tumbleweeds. Well, in their growth phase, so they haven't died off and started blowing around, but they're all over the place, which means that I have the privilege and the opportunity to have all kinds of scratches or itches. Scratches, I scratch it with my tongue, but it itches in the back of my throat with combined with runny nose and itchy eyes. That's what I have. And so yesterday, I finally had enough. Usually I put up with it as far as I can, and I took the allergy medicine, which makes me extremely groggy. And so I passed out for a nap in the middle of the afternoon and slept very hard. Have you ever had that before, where you just sleep so hard that coming up out of it is like dragging yourself out of molasses, and you realize that you had been down in this deep sleep for quite some time, and pulling yourself up out of it is quite a feat? Well, I did, and later on that night, I still was tired again, and so I went to sleep. Luckily, it didn't impact going to bed. But when I woke up this morning, I still had that medicine head. Now, one of the things that happens when I have that, and let me ask you if this happens to you, you have a choice. You either go back to bed or you get up and get going. I found early on in my travels, when I was traveling a lot as a consultant, that when I had late night travel, that if I slept in and then just went to the client where it was, the grogginess stayed with me for most of the day. It was usually around 1 or 2 in the afternoon that things would start to, I'd start to feel like I didn't have such a groggy head anymore. So I learned, and when I started my streak of run or walk at least 1 mile every day, that if I was going to get rid of that groggy feeling, I had to get up and run. And therefore, this morning, when I was in my closet getting ready to either go back to bed, right? And it's a choice. It's keep the pajamas on or put the running shorts on. It was that choice that I thought, you know what? I'm going to choose the running shorts. So I pulled them on, pulled on the shirt, and I got out on my run. Now, as I was running, and I decided that today I was going to do 4 miles. So as I was running, and I start out, by the way, one of the things that Jamie always says that I appreciate is she says, the win in any of these instances is actually getting out the door. That's the win. One of my streaks is to go outside at least one time every day. And that was picked up from one of our streaks of the month. If you've been in the Streaking app, you know we have a streak of the month, which you can pick up and start doing. One of those happened to be go outside every day. I've been doing that for quite some time, and I've been tracking it now. But that go outside, just getting out the door, makes it so that then you have the success. Now, I started to run, and one of the things when I have a groggy morning is I do not care the pace that I run, just as long as I start to run. So you really even couldn't call it a run. It's more like a very slow jog. And I start jogging, and another thing that's happened is we have gone from light in the morning to dark. As we've transitioned from summer to now moving into fall, school started today, it is now dark in the mornings instead of light. And it provides for something pretty cool, because the winter constellation that comes up is Orion. And as I look at Orion and I consider what Orion represents, which to me is cold weather, I start to think about this opportunity to get outside every day, to be in a little bit more crisp air, and to run to wake up. And about 2 miles in, my body starts to come alive. The first 2 miles, my body's like a temper tantrum 2-year-old. It fights, it kicks, it screams. It asks me, even though I've been doing this for years and years and years, why in the world I'm still doing it. Have your body been like this before? The 2-year-old temper tantrum that says, I don't want to be out here. Then as I get into it, mile and into the second mile, I start to feel alive, and everything starts to come alive. And I was running back, and this course that I happened to take this morning was out and back. And as I was running back, I looked at the sun, not the sun, but the light from the sun just barely starting to peek up over the mountains. And as I saw it peek up over the mountains, I just felt a little bit more energized, to the point where when I got back to the house, so after I'd completed my 4 miles, I was fully awake and alive, and the medicine head, or that grogginess, had been dissipated and fully worn off, or burned off, or sweated off, whichever it was. What inspired me, and what continues to inspire me, were the other runners that I saw out on the path at the same time I was. Every single one that ran by, I greeted cheerfully, because what they gave me was energy in return. If you have been out in the morning, early morning run, and seen other runners, I'll bet you've felt the same way. This is true also of streaking, and it's one of the reasons why we talk about the third law of streaking: create a community. Because when you see other individuals involved in the same activity that you're involved with, it creates an instant bond and an opportunity for celebration. Each one of us get energy from the other, and that energy inspires and promotes us and moves us forward. And when we have that energy, and that energy to give and also to receive from others, what then happens is we start to expand our community. So that's really what the third law of streaking is all about. It's really looking at it and saying, in creating a community, let's all get together and do a specific activity. Let's do it consecutively. And as we do it consecutively, let's support one another and celebrate together. One of the most inspiring things on the Streakin app, as you look into it, is the feed. When you look at the feed, people posting proof about the streak that they've done, and also insights gained on their particular streak, what happens is you start to feel positive. What we talk about as far as the social media feed on the Streakin app, it is the positive social media feed that can promote really good, awesome feelings. So much better than any other social media that's out there. Even though I enjoy a good YouTube short or an Instagram reel or maybe a TikTok dance, this, Streakin, provides you the opportunity and the celebration to continue to improve every day. If you haven't had the chance yet to download the Streakin app, do it. Take a look at it, follow along, see what it's like. If you want to set your own streaks and also report or post about them, we'd love to see it. You'll get all kinds of praise and all kinds of great celebratory moments where you and others can be energized together. So fight off that grogginess and keep streaking.